3 seconds. That's all the time pilots have to make a decision that could mean life or death when aborting a takeoff at 200 miles per hour.
That's such a tiny window of time to process everything that could go wrong. How do they even prepare for something so critical?
Well, here's what's fascinating. Pilots might spend their entire career preparing for a scenario they'll likely never face. The statistics show that serious rejected takeoffs happen in less than 0.2% of all flights, but when they do, everything has to be perfect.
So, what exactly triggers these split second decisions?
It all comes down to this crucial speed threshold of 100 knots, about 115 miles per hour. Below that speed, pilots can abort for almost any abnormality, but once they cross that line, the rules change dramatically.
Hmm. Tell me more about how that threshold changes things.
Well, think of it like this. Above 100 knots, you're essentially committed to taking off unless something catastrophic happens. We're talking engine fires, sudden loss of thrust, or critical system failures. And here's the kicker. You've got about 3 seconds to notice the problem, process it, and execute the rejection perfectly.
That's wild when you think about the physics involved at those speeds.
Exactly, and get this. There's actually a mathematical point of no return called V1. Once you hit that speed, even if an engine explodes, you're going airborne. The runway simply isn't long enough to stop safely anymore.
The way you describe it makes me think about those split second decisions in a whole new way. What kinds of physical factors complicate these situations?
So here's where it gets really interesting. Studies have shown that even a 5-degree misalignment during takeoff can increase your stopping distance by several hundred feet. And that's just one factor among dozens. Tire condition, brake temperature, runway friction, aircraft weight, they all play crucial roles.
I never would have thought about brake temperature being such a critical factor.
Oh yeah, and here's something that might surprise you. The auto brake system is actually more efficient than human pilots in these situations. That's why pilots are trained not to touch the brake pedals if the auto brake is working properly.
The level of automation and human interaction in these scenarios must be incredibly complex.
You know what's fascinating? The cockpit roles are so precisely defined that they've actually measured the time saved, about 1.2 seconds faster reaction time, when each pilot knows exactly what they're responsible for. The captain handles the stop call and braking, while the monitoring pilot tracks everything else.
That coordination must take incredible amounts of practice.
And that's the thing, pilots spend roughly 40 hours annually in simulators just practicing these scenarios. They run through every possible combination of failures, weather conditions, and runway situations.
The psychological pressure of maintaining that constant readiness must be intense.
Yeah. Pilots actually describe it as maintaining two competing mindsets simultaneously. They have to be ready to abort at any moment while also being go-minded above 100 knots. It's like having your foot on both the brake and accelerator of your mind.
So, what happens after a successful rejected takeoff? I imagine you can't just turn around and try again.
Well, here's something most people don't realize. Even after successfully stopping, pilots have to wait to ensure there's no need for evacuation. The brake temperatures can climb to over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you might need to wait 30 minutes or more before attempting another takeoff.
The complexity of these procedures really shows how much thought goes into aviation safety.
And you know what's remarkable? Despite all these potential complications, commercial aviation has become incredibly safe. The last fatal accident involving a rejected takeoff in the U.S. was over 2 decades ago, largely because of these precise procedures and extensive training.
Looking at it this way really changes how I think about those routine takeoffs that we usually take for granted.
That's exactly right. Every time you feel that acceleration down the runway, there's this incredible symphony of human expertise and technological precision working together, ready to handle even the most unlikely scenarios.